let's get into this one. And this is Masters, I want to say?
I think the scrim level is 4K again,
Okay.
but I am Masters.
Yeah, no problem. I recognize a couple of the people in here, so I had a pretty good feel for what we were looking at. Sure. Okay. So let's make sure we're set properly for this, and let's look at what we've done here. So you went here, you decided you want to go this way, no problem. And you're going to put pressure on them, and ultimately there's going to be some level of, hey, from a macro sense, what's going on? You immediately discovered that they're in a ball comp. No big deal. You're perfectly happy to pick on their ball with your own ball. Okay, you can do this. You've now done this, and tell me what's going to happen next. What is your plan from here?
You know, I haven't gotten that far yet, because chances are their ball's just gonna back away with his mobility,
Mm-hmm.
and then same with their tracer.
Sure. Are you
So I
guys
guess
in a
I guess
situation? Good.
I guess we've kind of accomplished taking coast, but
Mm-hmm.
that's nothing that my ball already did.
Yeah, but you put a little more pressure on them. You make it more expensive to heal this ball back up. It's either going to take the ball going and getting a Mega now, or Harmony Orb uptime or repair packs being forced on the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's happened. So you've taken some good space, and you and Ball are now in a situation where you could, in theory, force on something, push on something, whatever. You guys have better map control than they do, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm good with that. So what's happening next? Are you guys looking to dive something? Are you looking to pressure them onto point to make them walk in? Are you looking to hold your angles? What happens next?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of planning, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I get it. You sort of have to understand it because you have to understand to some degree what you're sort of looking to do. And we'll start with the obvious thing. What's the macro difference between your comps? You may not know it this second. Tab opened up this second, but you're in combat. You'll probably know it about 2-3 seconds from now. What's the macro difference between your comps?
Well, we have an Ana and they have a Zen,
Mm-hmm.
from just a pure comp perspective.
Right. So what does that mean?
So they're going to be able to get a lot more damage with us on Discord, and then they're also going to have a lot more utility for DPS because of Harmony, and they have Pharah and Tracer, and then also Valdiva. So I think they'll have a lot more utility because we have Ana,
Mm-hmm.
and the Ana is going to be able to anti maybe sleep ball, but with DM maybe not all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and
But
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
sure. And I'd say those are some important things. The Zen being able to support his frontline better than the Ana can, support the DPS better, we'll put it that way, is definitely important. On the other hand, and maybe Ana's got a little bit of a power spike when Nano comes up. Nids are a thing. Yeah, you sort of want to be aware of them. But really what we're looking at here is Ana probably defends herself a little better than Zen does. Is that a fair take?
Yes.
Whereas Zen probably does a better job than Ana at propping up the DPS. So I would like to drive back their DPS, and I would like to drive back their DPS and then find a window to dive their Zen in your shoes, because I understand that if the fight just keeps going on, like I'll fight their DPS because I have to, because that's necessary to get to their Zen. But if I fight their DPS forever, their DPS have a fundamental advantage. Except maybe for a window where your Nano comes up and, hey, we, have some sort of Nano play there. Does that add up roughly in your mind?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's not going to be some like huge change on how you play. But it's something you need to think about where you go, hey, there's a comp difference. What does this mean? It means I'd like to get on the Zen. Excuse me as I die over here. You don't yet know this, but you can't get on their Zen. No big deal. Hopefully your team has called it, and now you understand that you can't yet get on their Zen. And if that's the case, you're mostly just going to hold this, and you're probably going to want to hold this in a way that you can sustain. So, can I push this further?
I mean, you could, but I don't think it would be worth it.
It doesn't do anything, and it's going to cost you health and blinks and all that stuff, and you can't sustain it, right?
Yes.
So I'm willing to just hold the map control, activate the objective pressure, and sort of go, hey, I don't actually need to do more damage to you if you're fighting back. I'm pretty happy chilling out here. If this pack was still up, maybe we'd pressure, we'd use that to sustain. But for now, I'm pretty happy to just go, I don't want some funky poke battle with you. I'm pretty happy to just not let you in and make you force your way past or fight me to do this, where I'll be able to get a little bit more in a, hey, if we're fighting here, I can easily back to here and get healed. If we're fighting here, I'm on my own, and they can more easily get the Zen support, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just want you to hold space. But I
Okay.
want you to hold space cheap. Cool, this is basically exactly what I want. I don't still want you backing off, though. So if we look here, this is fine. No problem, you're taxing that ball. Sure, I actually want to go back out there. Like, don't get me wrong, maybe we didn't need that blink to get out. Maybe we could still have a blink. Sure, this is fine. You blink out with a blink still available. Blink break, that's fine. And hey, it's unfortunate that your fair lost. I'm not really worried about that. Your job was to not let that Tracer in, or perhaps to bait that Tracer into a fight where you had support and she didn't. Ultimately, that's mostly what you did. I'm pretty happy with that. Now I need to think about, hey, what are we doing next? And you tell me, if we just lost our pharmacy, what's going to happen next?
Well, they're probably gonna try. Well, they have man advantage, of
Mhm.
course. It's 4v6, so they're probably gonna try to take point from us.
So you can either try to hold out until point and just have a really slow, drawn-out fight to delay when they win the fight, and that's going to cause them to get less cap, because this fight won't end until after they'd be able to cap point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that, or you can try to find your way back in and figure out how can we win this fight. If you want to win this fight, or want to have a chance of winning this fight, what needs to happen? You have to kill Zen. You
Yeah,
have to.
yeah,
Like,
that makes sense.
The only way that you're getting back into this fight where you're down 2 is if you kill their Zed. And their Tracer did just back off. You don't know how far she backed off, but she did just back off. And one of two things is going to happen. She's either going to be good at the video game. She just recovered a little bit, maybe used a health pack, maybe got a Harmony Orb, whatever, and is now going to come back in this way and go, I will continue to pressure you on the angle. Or she's going, oh, good, let me go in this way, and we're all going to press W because we can just press W because we're up people. If she does that, you can win. Because if you go left, you properly get access to their Zen, and you killing him is a real possibility. Because their Zen is going to get aggressive. He's not going to stay up here. He is going to drop now that they've eliminated 2. So you have the option to do that. If their Tracer is good at the video game and was just getting a health pack and is now going to come right back this way and is happy to go, I will 1-for-1 tie you up, whatever, well, that's still probably good, because I don't want their Tracer to come in here and just, you know, it's not the end of the world if the Tracer fights you, Anna, but, like, I don't really want that to happen. You see where I'm going with this? Like, you going through this way to fight their Zen doesn't make more sense. If you want to slow down the fight, well, you probably want to control the angles, or you want to go, let me do something cute like this and sort of be like, if you try to walk past, I'll fight you, but you're Tracer, not Reaper, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So your move is clear, and their Tracer just fed, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he's not feeding, but, like, if you just started walking back this way, you now have one chance to one-clip their... You're not here yet, but you're going to have, because their Tracer left, you're going to have one chance to one-clip their Zed. You're probably not going to be successful, but what else are you doing in this fight, right? Like,
Well, I mean, if I do dive the Zen, and even if I don't want clip him, I'm still gonna bait out like Diva boosters. I'm still gonna force like maybe their ball to come back and peel. Like they're
Sure.
probably gonna have to back off a little bit, and
Sure.
that would let us probably have a little bit more time for our Fair Mercy to come back.
Maybe. You're probably going to spend pretty expensive yourself. I might argue that you could slow the fight down more by continuing to stay over here and roaming and doing this, and or, you know, going over here and poking at the Tracer and pulling him back and playing around the health back and that thing. But I think if you think this fight isn't just over and you want any chance back into it, yeah, you've got the right idea. And yes, even if you're not successful, you will get some things out of them. I think you're correct there. Does that same page?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
The objective is now active.
We're peeling ball instead. And don't get me wrong, peeling ball isn't the worst thing in the world, but were you ever really going to be able to, like, peeling ball, it's not the worst thing in the world, but you were never actually going to take down their ball who was going to be supported by their other divers coming in, that sort of thing, right? Like, these guys wanted to go forward.
Want to know the forecast? Want to know the forecast?
Well, that just happened.
It did just happen, Razor. So you're just coming out here to do some damage, cuz. Cool.
Time to raise my ATM.
Sure. Sure, take the damage, it's there.
From sky.
Yeah, so I look at this. This I like, you're just putting the damage there, this there. You're then now gonna brute force your way past the D.Va, and I just have to say no, you don't have the tools. Like, you're looking at this, I know you've worn this D.Va down some, you've forced some DM there, you've put some pressure on the ball. This D.Va isn't like the happiest D.Va in the world, she's lost some DM, she's at half health, but you tell me, with one blink, I know you have Pulse Bomb, with one blink in Recall, this has got to be the Pulse Bomb of your life to work, right?
Yeah.
Like, the D.Va is still alive. You didn't actually force her like, yes, she's down some DM, but her DM's not on its internal cooldown anymore, and we can see that. DM, oh, what do you know, it's available. She doesn't have all of her DM, which makes her job a little harder, but DM is available to her. It's not, you know, on the internal cooldown after it's been used, it can't be used again. So I have no idea what you're doing here. Like, I look at this and go, oh, I guess I'll apply a little more damage to D.Va, because I will just farm D.Va all day. Yeah, I've already got ult charge, but like, I'm happy to trade health positively, meaningfully positively with D.Va in this way, just like you were with Ball over here, and go, I'll keep driving you guys back, because are you guys losing this fight right now?
No.
If anything, you're winning this fight right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so now while winning this fight,
From sky.
okay, I don't think you're losing the fight now, but I actually think if this Pulse Bomb doesn't connect, you're winning this fight, and it doesn't, she got the eat, you're winning this fight by less than you were before, because now you're empty on abilities, and so you can't apply this pressure as cleanly. Like, if you'd just done another 100 damage to D.Va, that would be better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because now you don't have recall, you can't sustain this as well, you're a little more in need of, hey, Anna, I need you to pay a little attention to me, when she'd rather be taking offensive shots, or healing Ball, or healing your D.Va who's feeding, or I don't know that your D.Va's feeding, but you see where I'm going with this, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Ever get that feeling? Deja vu.
Okay, but you've got no right to win that.
Double.
Have some of that.
And then even looking at this, cool, do damage to their ball. I don't really need you to blink here. You can 180. What does blinking get you?
That's a good question. I mean,
Maybe-
it gives me more distance, but that's about it.
It gets you closer to the ball so you can do more damage, but like, that was your last blink. Yeah, it's probably safe. We've got 2 eliminations already, but it would really suck if you got hit by a Pharaoh rocket right now, for example, because you don't have a blink. Yeah.
APM number time.
Sure. Great. Okay, I don't need to go to point. So you do this. You have friends on point. You can go to point if you want, but do your friends need you on point? What's going on point?
No. I don't know right now.
This sort of thing is going on
Oh.
point. Looks to me
Oh,
like
yeah, no. No,
this
they don't
looks-
need me.
Yeah, this looks okay to me. So I want this fight to continue to happen, and I don't want to let anyone in. I want to just be like, nah, I'll just be annoying. I won't let anyone in. I can't block both this direction and this direction, so I'll just block this direction. If someone comes in over there, maybe I'll go peel them off. But yeah, you got it.
Rousing powers forward area. Oh, no. Heal hammer.
Sure. Sure.
Justice reigns.
Ever get that feeling? Deja vu.
Okay. You're trying. You're trying. Are you guys in this?
I mean, I think. I mean, our tank health is really low though.
Yeah, you can't necessarily see that, so I'm not so worried about that. I just don't think you have an awareness of that, and I don't think unless the comms are going hard that you should reasonably have an awareness of that. And their tank health isn't particularly good either, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are in this. You still have some angles. They've taken over the point. In fact, you guys have the positional advantage. They have that minefield going, and that's a problem. So I'd want to know what's coming in next. Are we going to go in there? Are we going to get Ball in there to do a nano pile drive or something? Like, I'd want to know what's happening next. But yeah, you're still perfectly fine being in this fight. You recover for a moment like you're doing. Your Mercy's here. And we just want to work our way to the right. Okay. I guess we'll chill.
All systems checked out.
Sure.
I could use some of this. Time out.
Great. Okay.
Want to know the forecast?
I'm fine with that. Not a huge deal. You guys have the ult, they don't. We probably needed to spend another ult in that fight, and we didn't. That was a very winnable fight, but whatever. I mean, if you want. He's never gonna let you. Like, he's never gonna let you shoot at this Zen here, and it's just like, okay, don't get me wrong, I'd like to deal with the Zen, but I don't think I'm so good, and I don't think you're so good, that I can just burn this Zen on a Tracer that's already looking at me. Do you?
Yeah. It's a 1v2 anyways. I'm just gonna get discorded.
Right. So, like, it's totally okay if you want to play a little bit of a, I'm not going to let you ignore me, Tracer. I'm not going to let you ignore me. I'm going to make both of you pay some level of attention to me, even if it's you get Harmony Orb and I have to fight you. But I'm not going to try to brute force down the Zen, especially in a fight that, again, are you guys losing this fight currently?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty even. They've got a little better map control, but it's a pretty even fight. I don't need to try to hero wrestle something back here. Recall. I'm just gonna be upset.
Heroes never die.
You had no right to pull that off. You did. Congratulations. But, like, that was, like, hey, that's maybe something you'd have tried to do if you were down 2 people or even down 1 person. It's not something you'd have done in that even fight there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
This is Bet that's not.
Sure.
Hostile.
Great. They're paying way too much attention to you if you go out here. So this happens. You're discorded.
Hostile.
You have a pretty good idea now of where that Zen is. Okay, how's this fight going?
For me, not so great, but for the team as a whole, we are winning this fight.
Right. So you don't need to go do something right now. Like, it's okay for you to just recover, for you to just let this Discord fall off, to get some blinks back. That's totally okay. And I would have liked to see that happen instead of you forcing your recall there.
Enemy seen.
Yeah. Okay. And you're just playing, you know, ever since that happened, you're just playing a sort of constant game of catch up with nowhere to go because you used your recall and now have blinked heavily and all that. But all good.
Justice. Yeah.
So basically right now, it seems like my Tracer is way too aggressive.
I could call it too aggressive, but I want to call it timed aggression because, like, you didn't at the beginning of the match go take this opportunity to go after their Zen when you were down 2, right? So, like, I don't want to. If I had to pick too aggressive or too passive, yes, I'd say too aggressive. But the reality is, what I'm actually going to say is, I need you to have a little bit more cognizance of the team fight state and which team is stronger and weaker right now. I don't want you to spend resources when you individually are weak, but your team is doing well. I don't want you to go take risks and go try to force something to happen when your team is doing well. I don't want you to elevate the risk involved for yourself effectively. On the other hand, when your team is doing poorly, elevating the risk trying to force something is perfectly acceptable. So, like, I want better tracking of the kill feed, and I want you adjusting to what's happening based on the kill feed, but also based on some of the, okay, how are we doing more generally on resources? Be those, ults available, health available, cooldowns available, all that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool.
Routing power to forward shield.
Cool. Go right. What are you doing here? You can use one blink. Okay, good. You're having to use blinks to take this because you didn't go over when you had the window, but no big. Great. You guys are good. Okay, no problem. You get the hacked health back you're working around. Force the ball back. Fine. Work your way to the angle. So, not the worst thing in the world happened here. We'll go back through this and we'll micro it a little bit. This happens. You see that your Sombra hacked this health pack, so you have a little bit more resource, a little bit more sustain over here. We like that. This is a little bit of a problem, though, because you go, I'm going to come in here and fight this Zen. And you just kind of walked with 3 blinks into the open doorway, didn't you?
Yeah. I should have probably blinked over.
Wouldn't it
to
have
the
been
right.
great to have blinked over here and just been like,
Yeah, that's what I
"Hi."
was thinking.
Yeah,
Because then it
exactly.
also LOSs the ball.
Yeah, you got. I mean, and you may not know exactly what's going on, but you have 3 blinks available. You have recall. There's a hacked health pack. Boom! I'm willing to spend one to do something, cute here, effectively. Now you kind of have to fight the ball a little. It's going to be tough to go after the Zen because you don't have your recall. There's too much going on here. That's fine. You try to go get yourself the angle, and I get it. But, there's a Pharah, and I don't really know what your Pharah's up to. What is your Pharah up to? Oh, your Pharah's on Sombra now. Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Routing power to forward barrier. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So I'm a little momentarily like, wait, I'm in the same place as my Sombra, should I be? Like, I have a moment of thought of that. You had enough of your team go right that I'm not too worried about it.
Into the iris.
Sure. Okay. You're just on point. This is junk time.
Just in time.
The next one is Garden, I think. And we played 6,
Okay.
maybe 6 man?
I mean, if you're gonna ball 6 man's a thing.
Yonda.
Yeah, this is a scrim, so it might be a bit.
Ready,
Hey, all good. All good.
ready for battle.
Yeah. I know my problem immediately. Immediately going into this, I know that I was playing really ranged.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, all the other ones that you've auto-reviewed me, like I play like Cassidy or Hanzo.
Sure.
And so that's just what I'm used to. So I think I just play Reaper way too far out.
No problem.
5,
Let's
And
take
I
a-
also just
3,
don't Wraith either.
Okay.
1.
So,
Round 2.
Let's see how you do this.
Objective.
Yeah, we could have opened with a
Yeah,
raid to keep
yeah.
that better. For sure.
yeah, I don't know what to do off start. Like, should I go with my team? Should I TP point?
Oh no, you're
Should
going
I
with your team.
TP? Okay.
You are 100% going with your team. You can do a quick Shadow Step here if you want, or a quick Wraith here if you want, because, hey, you know, there's going to be a little bit of time to get there before the fight is likely to happen, just like she threw a Translocator in. But, yeah, you're definitely going with your team. You're a bit behind here, and this matters a little bit. It looks like the other guy chose to hold his cooldowns as well, so that you both have them the instant this fight starts. You're just looking to plump damage out, and the best place to do that is going to be into their Winston. So,
Yeah.
do this.
Again, I think I just play too ranged.
Yeah, this is correct. I see the Sombra over there, not your problem. Like, when we think about this, basically, I want you putting pressure on the monkey as much as possible to run that diva out of defense matrix as soon as you can, because is Moira going to keep Winston up on the other side?
Probably not.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. So we just want to run that diva out of defense matrix ASAP, and that's kind of what you're doing. So you're over here.
Enemies detected.
Sure, I want to keep W. I don't care that there's a Sombra over there. The Sombra over there I sort of look at and go, that seems like a Moira problem to me. Like, hey, we have a Moira. Yeah, that Sombra may eventually get on our Moira, but is our Moira really in that much trouble? I mean, they have a Reaper, not a Tracer. Is our Moira in that much trouble?
No.
She'll figure it out. Exactly. So here you go. I don't care about her. I don't. Good, better. Why? Did you just find a bunch of ammo that I missed?
Yeah, I also have a really bad habit of reloading at like 4 ammo.
Yeah, this is 2 ammo, but like, that 2 ammo was like the bubble. I
Man,
mean,
it would be a shame if there was a really big target right next to me that I could shoot right now. You said that last time too.
Wouldn't it be? Wouldn't it be a shame? Yeah.
You said that last time.
What, oh my goodness. Okay, so here we go. This one's forced at least. Boom. Perfect. We win. Free health. Unfortunate. So, this happens. Whatever. He's gonna work on you. You're just trying to shoot him to get your health back, to do what you can. He's gonna zap you. You don't really care. If you go down here, so be it. You shouldn't really go down here. There should be enough happening. You should be getting some healing. But hey, your monkey's already gone down to their Reaper. And you know what? Let's learn. Let's learn from their Reaper. Go ahead.
I should have also wraithed, because I did not use that.
You should. You should.
But I think that's more of a reflex thing, and I just don't play enough Reaper for that yet.
He's done a fair amount.
He is right up in the Winston's face.
Yeah, so this is happening.
No fear.
He's like, oh, a diva's walking through me. Don't care. Don't care. Oh, I'll Shadow Step if I have to. No, there's a Reaper. I don't care. I know that my diva is going to DM that Reaper. I know that it's going to happen. I don't care. I just want to put damage on the monkey. Find me the monkey. Find me. Oh, the monkey. And don't get me wrong. Other people did a fair amount of damage to him. But, like, he's basically on a one-track mind of monkey, monkey, monkey. He shot at the Reaper because he literally couldn't find the monkey. You see how this is going? Okay.
Yep.
The objective is now
It's gonna be tougher in this ult cycle.
Hi there.
Oh, okay. Your Moira isn't that far behind.
My will made real.
Sure. Oh, there's a monkey. Sure. You can't really win this fight. Okay.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
Watch your back.
I mean, 6-man v 6-man is now going to get pretty ult cycle-y after this first fight. It's a little like neither of you wants to pull the engage trigger because the other will just use their abilities to leave type thing. It's a little annoying, but it's fine. We're just going to try to find ways to W at them.
The objective.
Okay. And here we go. And I don't care. I literally don't care if Moira right clicks on you because you'll just out heal it from the Winston jam. Oh, hey, what do you know?
Time to raise my ATM.
Good. Fine. Patience.
On the objective. Rally to my position.
Okay.
More like
How are you planning to use this blossom?
We were planning on EMP blossoming this way.
Okay. Okay.
So I think the Sombra would TP in, and then I would TP behind, and we would just do it, basically.
Yeah.
And we were kind of going to do it as soon as they pushed in.
Yep.
El enemigo está aquí. Time to raise my ATM.
You're not alone here. Touch from afar. EMP activated.
So we'll take it. It sort of works. I mean, this is obviously too deep, and you recognize that. Where I look at this, and I can go this deep with the teleport, but do I need to go this far past a team that's
No.
advancing on us? Like, I really don't need to. And even if I accidentally go shallow and get caught up in the middle of their team, I'm probably going to be okay because my monkey's going to, you know, be walking in or jumping and drop a bubble. My diva's going to be boostering in, like, or walking in. Like, your team's going to drop some things pretty quickly for you, right? So, like, by the
Yeah.
time you are out of iframes, you're probably pretty okay. So, this is way overconfident.
It's almost ready.
Oh, now to accelerate.
My will made real.
Cool.
Feel the healing beat.
And I'm ready to unleash my primal rage.
Great.
Oh, let's break it. Damn!
She's not really the target that we wanted, but you know,
No.
that happened. So here we are. This happens. You're on the monkey. The monkey jumps in. The monkey's gonna dance with the bubble. That's life. You'll deal with the bubble pretty quickly. This happens. I know where the monkey is. You know where the monkey is. You're fighting the Moira, and this would make sense if you were Tracer, but like, is there any reason to stay on her when the monkey is literally right here?
No.
Right, you just do so much more damage. Like, you don't care about her trying to heal through you. It's not happening. She's not out healing your damage as Reaper. Okay. We can get into some of your micro positioning and using walls during the actual fight to slow things down, but really I want you ending these fights faster. Good. Sure. You're just doomed. Uh-huh, still doomed. Okay.
You're not alone.
Surrender to my will.
I'm gonna shoot you down.
You're not alone. You're not alone here.
Okay. So, not the worst thing in the world. You kind of knew what you were getting into here with yes, you could have started this round with a Shadow Step. It would have cost you basically nothing. You also were in a situation where you get distracted. It's appropriate to flick over to other targets when Winston isn't available, but you want to be flicking back. The same way on other heroes, you might go, oh, Mei popped Ice Block, let me switch off of her to the next character, or Doomfist slammed back out to the safety of his team, let me swap over to the Winston that's still in. The same way you might do those things, you need to, with Reaper, sort of go, I've marked Winston. Winston will give me a stupid amount of damage, health regen, everything that I want. It's great. And I'll flip over to other targets when Winston closes around of line of sight, whatever, but I'm constantly working my way towards the Winston, and everything else is just flicks to, quickly force someone out, quickly do this until I can get back on the Winston. We could get, a little bit more into some of the team-wide stuff, a little bit more into what the ults look like here, but we really didn't do too much. How many blossoms did you use this round?
1.
Right. And that seems like a problem to me. That seems like something where, wait a second, that shouldn't really be hard to do. Or it shouldn't really be hard to get a second here. You got close, but we look at this and it's not like you were sitting on your blossom forever or anything. You're just not really getting enough damage in there. And that's, some of that is downstream, yes, of, hey, these fights could be set up a little bit better. We could have a little bit better plans, but mostly you are going to sort of clump with this comp and go, I'm going to stop the Winston from Tesla cleaving us as quickly as possible. That's it. Like that is it. Yes, we can get more into, hey, I'm going to have this cute little thing. Oh, you closed line of sight on me. Let me shoot the Sombra twice, then move on, whatever. But like, that's what we're looking at. And then are we on Control Center? And do you want me to switch over to Ilias or do you want Control Center?
Yeah, if you could switch over to Ilias, because I already know what I did wrong here too.
Yeah, no problem.
I was playing too close here.
Okay.
When I was playing Sim, I need to play like the kind of beam range, and I wasn't really doing that.
Need to be that ranged beam sniper?
Now
No, I'm
arriving
kidding.
at ease.
Yeah, right clicks only.
There you go. Did they not film?
Teleporter online.
Okay.
I have opened the path.
Yeah, I don't know how
Understood.
the TP works at all, so I've never TP'd on this map.
You could get further than that, but that's just practice. That's literally just practice. So you guys are playing 6-man, and I can live with you guys playing 6-man. That's not, at all the worst thing in the world, but I'm still looking at your flankers and thinking to myself, wait a second. Maybe you go with your team and your Sombra off angles, but the reality is I'm looking at this and going, is there really anything? What matchup do you want where you're going to be here rather than over here? What matchup do you want to be there for?
That's a good question.
So there are comps, perhaps like Ball Comp, where you'd go, their Tracer's just going to overpower you, their Sombra's just going to overpower you and force you back to your group, and I'm totally good with that. And you might just want to go, no, I'm going to stack with my team, and I just want to be able to go when my team goes, and that's perfectly fine. But until I sort of know what they're on, I kind of like to go, hey, let's grade it a little bit. But your comp likes to go fast, so if you're going, hey, I'm going with my team fast, I can live with it. Let's see if that happens. Let's see if you go with your team really fast onto the opponents here.
Want to know the forecast?
There we go.
So did you guys pull the trigger and dive someone real quick?
No.
Right. And I'm honestly going to look at that as more of a macro issue. Like, we look at this. Okay. How do you guys win?
I don't know.
That would
I
be a
don't know.
problem. That would be
Yeah,
a problem that you don't know how you win here.
I don't know how to play 6-man a lot, so.
Okay. So you need to basically think of yourself as the brawlier comp. And if you think of yourself as the brawlier comp, you'd like to find someone to get on top of and just sort of win, or you would turtle up in this cage to sort of force someone to get close with the implicit threat of we'll cap point if you don't, and we don't have very good range, but you guys have to get close enough to be able to poke us out, wear us down, that sort of thing. So I look at their team, and you guys should know their comp by now. You've had enough scouting, enough people that can see, and you'd look at this and go, well, the Roadhog's bait. You can't dive the Roadhog. Sigma might be an option to dive. What you really want to do is you want to dive the Ana, yeah?
Yeah.
So you need to basically not let them shoot at you or make them not shoot at you effectively until the Ana's close enough. And the idea is they shouldn't be able to wear you down enough to be a threat without bringing the Ana into a range where she can contribute to the game. Okay?
Okay.
So that's the thought right now. And that means you guys should either be in cage, or I guess you can do what some of your team are trying to do of maybe hiding in here instead, but I don't really want to be in here. I'm going to get dropped on from up here. Like, I would much rather just be in cage at this point. So I'd like that to happen. You could be thinking about how am I going to get on Ana, because that's a little bit of a problem. How are you going to get on Ana? Because Ana's pathing is really predictable right now. If they're in a comp that has an Ana or a Zen, where's the Ana or the Zen going to be?
Probably on some sort of high ground.
This is where she's going to get to when she wants to contribute to the fight, right?
Yep.
You're never really going to be able to deal with that as Tracer, are you?
No.
So, the best you're going to be able to do is either put pressure on their Mercy to try to bother their pharmacy while your team dives, or more likely, it's going to be put pressure on their Tracer, who will probably be on low ground trying to mess you guys up to keep her out. But you don't really need to fight her until how do I want to put this? You don't really need to go out to fight her until your team, who mostly can go more vertical than you, goes after the Ana or Zen. In this case, Ana. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. I hate that you guys are here. I have zero desire to fight this Tracer right now because I don't see my team. I don't know what you guys are doing right now.
Yeah, I don't either.
You two are maybe thinking about fighting Tracer. Winston and Diva are maybe thinking about fighting Roadhog. This is bait. I cannot be more clear that this is bait right here. Don't fight this thing, whatever. Let's use these cooldowns and go up here and fight this sort of thing. And your Sombra can translocate up here, and I'm just gonna be unhappy. Okay. And some of this is macro stuff that your team has to know, but you understanding what the macro is informs you of what you need to be doing when the right thing happens, even if the right thing isn't happening.
The objective is now active.
Sure, we can unhappily shoot at that.
Want to know
My
the
ultimate is charging.
Sure.
Much better.
Okay. Ana might not be on high ground. You could go scouting looking for her. You could put pressure on Mercy, but mostly all you're doing at the second is spending your resources, which we don't love. Oh, look, your team is now mostly here. That's kind of cool. Team is here. Maybe we're ready to dive. I hope so.
Time to heal up.
Not how I'd go about winning this fight, but okay. Why are you staying here? So here you go. I still hate how we're winning this fight, but I look at this and I go, I guess you could go into this harder if you want. Sure, you just took damage here and you're going in harder? Is this because you're trying to greed recall health? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Okay.
I probably, in my head, I'm just yeah, I'm thinking that I could probably get I have more time left before I can get my health back on recall. So I'm kind of waiting for that.
Okay. Okay. And I'd have probably pretty happily just been like, let me blink over here. Oh, what do you know? A health pack. Oh, okay, I'll hold my angle. Whatever. But sure, let's do it your way.
Let's try that again.
If anything hit you, you would have died. Uh-huh. Oh, look, you died. And, you know, we can go with this two ways. Like, hey, I don't really approve of you going in this hard with your recall gone. Nope. Let me rephrase this. This happens. Your angle's fine. You're good over here. You decide I have 55 health. I'm going to go in to try to grade my recall. I did this. I now have a little more health. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Can shoot at the Pharah. Cool. Why are we walking into this team right now? Or why are you walking into this team right now?
That's
might
a
be the better
very
question.
interesting question. I think I saw the Ana, and I was like, all right, we're gonna lose this fight if we don't kill the Ana. And I think that's kind of what's happening in my head.
Oh yeah?
But yeah, I don't think I'm tracking them very well in my head.
I don't think you're gonna lose this fight.
I can see it, like, I think that's what I was thinking in the moment, though.
Sure. So I think we need to zoom you out a little bit more, as we talked about in the first round, to what's the actual state of the fight. Because this Pharah is going to die, and even if this Pharah doesn't die, you can just blink out here and go, well, I'll shoot in at the Pharah from over here, where the Ana can't shoot me, where it's harder for the Sigma, where I've got some cover. Like, you guys are doing just fine, but all good. Instead, you fed. And now I don't know who wins this fight.
What me?
I don't know.
Now it's them. Yeah, now it's them.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Oh, good.
I might need this later.
This is gonna make you feel better.
My ultimate is
Hi. Sure, punish him. You're good. Wait for Winston's next leap. You guys are ready. Sure, we can fight Tracer.
Oh, this is my jam.
Hook. I'd like a dive to happen. Team, what are we diving? Where's Sienna? Has anyone scouted it? Yell at my Sombra.
Justice reigns from above.
Good thing I brought you better.
Okay, so like, if this was ladder, I'd just shrug my shoulders and say, yeah, whatever. But like, this is organized play. We just forced their Tracer out.
This is my jam.
We forced their hog back. It's time for us to find something to dive. And ideally, your Sombra's already scouted that and can tell you where the Ana is, because that's what we'd like to do. The truth is, they're actually playing this very, very cautiously, going, we're not going to bring our Ana in. We're intentionally going to try to bait you into diving our Roadhog first. And hey, I get it, but if that's what's going on here, no, our answer isn't we're going to dive your Roadhog. Our answer is, once your Roadhog is useless, we're going to maybe do what you did before, of make a jump play where you try to overwhelm the Tracer, catch with a hack, whatever, or maybe, you know, go, hey, we'll put pressure on, you know, we'll get a hack, put pressure on the pharmacy, whatever. This, I'll be quite honest, is weird that they're playing this far away. If your Sombra had scouted that they were playing this far away, you might actually go, fine, we'll kill your Roadhog, even though he's bait. But this is very unusual. So you just look at this and go, if we really don't know where they are, okay, we'll put pressure on their DPS until we can make someone show up. What you're doing.
Justice reigns from above.
Sure. But if this fight goes long, goes slow, and doesn't involve you guys finding a dive, you're gonna lose to the Pharmacy Hog, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to happen. So we've really got to fix this at a team level for this.
Surrender to my will.
no longer exists.
And she's back in the game.
I am rocking this objective.
Sure.
Here.
Sure. Take your angle. Fine. You don't need to back off.
Heal up.
This is my will.
Oh, you're killing me.
I need to.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Do I need to thirst for that, Ana?
No. This is
Just-
fine. If you decide that you can't push it anymore down main, which is correct, you can't go, hey, let me go in here and just beat this Ana. I don't need you to do that. But I have a pretty good idea of where they are. Where should you go next?
Should I go right?
Right would be great. Right would be great. You might run into someone messing with you over here. You might go, hey, let me hold my space. Again, it's not exactly how you guys play the comp for you to go right here. You could go, oh, I'm going to stack with my team and we're just going to huddle, get the Moira healing and then go. That would be fine with me. But since you guys aren't doing that anyway, let's just play a fundamentally good Tracer and go right.
This is my will.
Ahorita regreso.
Okay.
Want to know the forecast?
Okay.
Oh, let's break it.
EMP. Clear in the
I'm
area.
not going to be upset about that. The fight was over when your Moira went down.
And I still should have gone right, though.
I'm
What's
set.
that?
I still should have gone right, though.
You should have. Yeah.
Want to know the
Okay, you're going to go for 6. Ready?
Oh, no.
That's
No.
1. That's 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's watch the first team fight if you're playing something that isn't.
Oh,
six-man on
no,
this
can
next
we skip to the next one? Cause I actually forget to swap off sim here.
one? Sure.
We were talking about something else, and I totally forgot
Ready
to swap
for
off sim,
battle.
so it was sim the first fight.
Ready for
No problem.
ready. Ready.
Maybe.
1.
Yeah.
Round 3.
Teleporter
Capture
online.
the objective.
We move swiftly.
Yeah, okay. That's it. That works. No problem. Sure.
Peace be upon you. Greetings.
The cavalry's here.
Okay. What is this crosshair placement? So here you are.
Oh boy. Here we
You
go
were
again with
always
crosshair
going
plays.
right. You were always going, this was always where we were worried about people being, and if there wasn't anyone here, this is where we were going. Like this is always what was happening. So what is this? What is no. I'm
Yeah,
not
I wish I knew.
go right.
This is the 3rd VOD in a row.
There's always gonna be some of it, but like, and now you're playing from here, like, ooh, let me shoot with my diva. I'm sorry, like, what? Why do you think this is a good place to be? This is just much more interesting. Like, oh, Ash wants to swing her camera over here and shoot at me over here. Great,
Oh.
fantastic. She'll never hit me. Ash wants to shoot at Diva here and accidentally hits me instead, or Ash can see me while shooting at Zen. Like, no, I don't like those as much. I want her to swing. Oh, boom! Got hit in the side of the head by Zen. Like, this is just better. And also, when someone gets scared and goes, oh, let me take cover against the Zen, whatever, you go, oh, well, the Zen already hit you. Let me just blink in and finish you off from here, sort of thing. Like, I don't like this at all. Yeah, Mercy's a good one.
The objective is now
You can help take Echo out of the fight by shooting the Mercy, sure. Sure. Yeah, I'll deal. You could have continued to develop angles. You guys were sort of ahead, but I'm not worried. I say I'm not worried, but...
Want to know
Yeah.
Okay. Why are we leaving this hard?
Good question. Good
Because,
question
I
again.
don't like what I see. I don't like what I see, and now I'm fine. I can just
I probably
chill.
probably got scared of the Ash and then just decided to walk away.
But I can just chill here. They're never going to come find you here. Like, they might know that you're here, but they're never going to trigger a dive on you. They're Pharmacy Ash. Like, if Pharaoh wants to come around and start shooting at you, fine, I'll leave. But, like, I get to keep doing my scouting here. I get to stay close to the position that I'm going to want. What are we getting by going this way?
I might need this.
Hey.
I don't know.
I'm under fire.
I don't really want to fight their front line. Okay.
What?
Well, now I just feel useless.
Feeling powerful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do something challenge.
Do something before, two people on your team get eliminated?
Yeah. Difficulty impossible.
Time to leave my
Yeah, it's so my fault.
Not you like you were going to be the most impactful in the world, but if those people dive in, you get to shoot them a little on the way in, or if your team stages a little more, you rotate up here, shoot them on the way in, or you go over here and go, hey, Ash, let me do some damage to you. Make you aim down and start dealing with me, and then I leave. And then, oh, Anna has to go, oh, let me stop healing the Winston and turn and heal the Ash. And, it's not the most useful stuff you're doing in the world, but your options are pretty limited, where you look at this and go, I can either try to distract Ash and Anna a little bit, and Ash is doable, you can do that to her, or I can try to damage these guys a little bit on their way in and then break the bubble from the outside. Neither is going to be amazing, but unless you want to go, hey, let me circle, which you just don't have time to do, and go like this, those are your options. Switching over to here just puts you in a, well, I guess I can shoot them, but I do it from a less safe spot. I could have shot them and peeled from here better, where the Ash and Anna couldn't shoot at me, or I had access to the Ash and Anna. Over here, it's just harder. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay. So I think that's probably enough here. I think we have enough. When I look at you, your team needs to do some macro win condition fundamental stuff, and you just have to figure out, hey team, are we going to talk about this? Do we have a plan for what we're doing when we're playing? How do we win on 6-man? You guys literally have to figure out as a team, how do we win on 6-man? And the answer is, we need to find stuff to pounce on, and if there's nothing to pounce on, we need our Sombra to scout more to find it, while the rest of us turtle up effectively against some of these pokier teams, and turtle up with cover around point. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But then for you individually, I want you to think about your team's win condition to inform you on what to do. We talked about, I guess you're going to tie up the Tracer in this fight, or, that sort of thing. Or, hey, that's fine. But the main thing I want you to do is I want you to think of the status of the battle. When you guys start getting behind in the battle, you can play a little riskier because you now can't just do one man's job. You have to over contribute if you're going to win. Now, if all of you are over contributing, one of you might succeed while others mess up, and that's bad. But the idea is, if you get behind, they get a pick. You either need to fall into hey, we're going to play it super defensive to slow the fight down, or I now need to overcompensate. And I see trying to overcompensate, trying to do hard, trying to brute force stuff while your team is ahead too often. And that is the thing I'd most like to fix. If you can figure out, hey, I'm going to flip the switch on and try to do more when we're behind, that's great. But the first thing I'd like you to do is to not throw fights back into limbo when you're ahead in the fight. If every once in a while they get you on something that should have been safe, but hey, the Zen hits a headshot at 3 health, at 30 health, whatever, so be it. But you're forcing too many of those. I'm going to force my way past the Zen. I'm going to force my way past the Tracer. I'm going to, this D.Va, who cares? Let me use my single blink, no recall to get this pulse bomb off. Why? Why would you do that? So I want a little bit more paying attention to the feed, but especially I want that to adjust how you're playing, and that would sort of be your major takeaway out of here. We could get a little bit more into hold your angles, consider your crosshair placement on the angles, but the big thing, and it'll be a hard thing because it's not just thinking about your name, it's not just, oh, I do this, it's, okay, are we up or are we down? We're up. Let me just methodically, go through this relatively safely. Oh, we're down or it's even. Maybe I need to take a little bit more risk to make something happen. Does that make sense? And do you think you can not fall apart too much while thinking about that?
Yeah, no, I can think about it. It's just,
Okay.
gonna be thinking about that is gonna be a little difficult at first.
I
kind of
totally agree.
thinking about what to do and just kind of overall what's happening in the team fight, how much map control you have, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That is gonna be probably a little difficult off the start.
And I would probably start this from a place of worry less about the map control, worry less about the cooldowns, and just start by worrying about the number of players that are actually in the fight. You can't just press tab because that's not good enough, but the number of players that are actually somewhat reasonably in the fight. If your team has more, I want you to take less risks. I want you to sort of methodically close out. If your team has even or less, sure, go for some riskier plays. Like if you can just frame your mind like that and start with just tracking, if we have less players or even players, maybe I go hard. If we don't, I go methodical. Like start like that. And I think it's still hard, but I think that's a small enough world to explore there.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's really what I'd go for here. Again, we can get a little into crosshair placement. Really what you need to do is talk macro with your team to make this stuff better because, it's like, okay, what are you going to do here? But that's what I do. Do you have any questions, concerns, other things you want to get into?
Not really.
Okay. Then